Hey guys, welcome back to another episode of the Dropping Down from the Rafters podcast here on Toned In Entertainment. Joining me today, a gentleman who may actually have even more cooler lighting than I do, and he definitely has a
what?
yeah. Look at that lighting. I love it. But you're also a guy that has a lot more championships than I do, and that's TJ Brady. How you doing, TJ?
Hey, buddy. I know normally I don't have anybody that even has a lit up background to compete with, so it's nice that you got the red and I got the purple and the blue. So I was gonna go with the green and red, but the second I saw yours, we're like, we'll go the Miro Pro colors.
Okay. Yeah, you got to bring the fire,
Different.
man. You got to make the
Yeah,
podcast look good, right?
exactly.
It's like everything in wrestling. It's like, you go out there, you've got the gear, you've got the entrance, you've got the presentation. Us as podcasters, we need to bring the same type of juice to our show as well.
Yeah, and you got like the WCW things are all lit up, and then you got the LED. I gotta get an LED sign. I just got the Star Wars poster. That's about it.
Okay, I'll recommend you to a good we'll give him a shot. Brax 3D. He's out of Atlanta. He makes awesome 3D printing.
Georgia?
Everybody, yeah, he's out of Atlanta, Georgia, but he ships and everything. So we're giving him a free plug here on Toned In Entertainment. Good dude for sure.
Get your WCW Nitro signs and your Toned In Entertainment.
Yeah, he can make something like that. The Toned In Entertainment. The WCW one I bought at WrestleCon last year from a vendor, actually.
Oh, okay.
So yeah,
wrestling Comic Cons.
Yeah, for sure. Well, enough about the free plugs because it's all about TJ Brady tonight.
And here I am.
Here you are, man. You are making some waves on the independent wrestling scene down there, my friend.
Yeah, it's not even just Florida. Bill Weaver just gave me the new nickname, the King of Georgia, but I think I got to earn that first before I just steal that. Although it's not a bad idea because we're going back there April 12th, and then April 12th is when we're going back. It's already going back less than a month.
Okay, what show are you doing April 12th in Georgia?
Solid Rock against battling Bill Weaver because he wants his rematch. I put that pure title on the line against him at Georgia Old School Championship Wrestling. I beat him there too. So that he was, I think, like the 15th title defense on the pure title at the time. So thanks, Bill. And then I guess you get your rematch, but I don't think the pure title's on the line this time. So just regular old singles. That's all you get, Bill. You got to earn that shot.
I was gonna say, even behind the TJ Brady right now, there's more championships. You've got them lined up now. You're kind of a belt collector going on here.
Yeah, we got the Proving Ground Tag Team Champions that we just won this Monday. The original AMP Championship, the brand new AMP Pure Championship, and then all the way down there, the Riot Young Lions Championship, which I heard might be on the line at April 5th, but I'm not too sure. I don't know if that's been announced or not yet, but I'll be defending that one regardless.
I was gonna say, carrying around all that gold, is there a lot of pressure mounting on your shoulders now, TJ?
Yeah, you could. Well, with the WWN one, yes. With the AMP Pure title, I've almost had a thing a year at this point. I feel bad for whoever keeps trying to step up because I just don't think that title's going anywhere. As for the Riot title, kind of pulled out a shocker in that one. Nobody saw me winning that because that was a last minute announcement too. And Zacharias and Jacob were pretty two tough guys too, especially I never got to work Zacharias, and I know he's heading out of the state, so that was kind of a hey Zacharias, you're not leaving until I get to wrestle you type of thing. So that happened, and then somehow I beat Zacharias. So if Zacharias ever wants that rematch, and before he decides to go to California, by all means come get that rematch. But if you take off, the phone's always available. You better make that call to get that Riot title back because I don't think I'm losing it, Zacharias. I think I'm going to have that one too.
It doesn't sound like TJ Brady's a guy that's afraid of a fight.
No, not really. I mean, you can throw me around like 100. Ask Ray, the Brutes. You can throw me around for like 15 minutes, and I'll still find a way to win. So it's all about the tougher challenges because I'm not the biggest guy either, so I'm not gonna like play anybody for their size because you could have the biggest guy in the room, but I could keep going and going. I could take a punch too. I'm no stranger. I just got punched in the face like 15 times last night by Uni Vice, and my face is still good to go, and I'm still sitting here on the pods doing all the other stuff. But no, the size difference and everything else like that when it comes to taking challengers, even Zacharias, that dude is double my size. Jacob's like 2 feet taller than me. So just all, and even like, well, I would say Bill Weaver, but he's like 3'5", so he was like the only one. I was like, whatever, it's Bill Weaver. So yeah, size, shape, size, whatever. I'll fight anybody. It doesn't matter, or wrestle anybody. I got him.
Well, you just said you got punched in the face about 15 times, and obviously,
Yeah.
you're taking a lot of bumps and the bruises, that you have to deal with
Oh
during the
yeah,
week.
yeah. I don't even think that'll show up right there
I
because of
see
the
it.
lighting.
I
But
can see it in
yeah,
that light. Yeah.
just from Monday. Yeah, I
Okay, so
want to blame. I want to blame Uni for that one. So we'll just go ahead and say it was him.
okay. So knowing that you were going into a world where you're going to get punched in the face 15 times and come home with these bumps and bruises, what inspired you to step into the squared circle in the first place?
So this is kind of like a multi-layer answer. So I was actually training at WWNTC for a little bit. And then I stepped away because I got into a car accident and I had a bunch of stuff dislodged in my back. So I didn't plan on really wrestling anymore. So I stepped away. And then I went to college for digital cinema. Wow. So I did all that. I got my degrees, started working on my own short films and like TV commercials and all that. And then I did a school project that involved wrestling. And then through that, I got back in touch with Frank, who was the head coach at the WWNTC. And then he was like, "Hey, can you come to Proving Ground and like take some photos and like just hang out, whatever?" I was like, "I guess, yeah." And then I started doing that. And then it slowly turned into, "Hey, do you want to start training again?" And I was like, "You told me I shouldn't train anymore because my back's messed up." And then we just from talking from there and there, was able to get me back into the school and we started training again pretty much. It was like 5 days a week. I want to say it was either 4 or 5 days. It was a lot on top of still doing school projects. So it turned in from me doing production behind the scenes to me being a referee for Frank for a favor, which I don't like being a referee. I hated it. It was literally part of the whole story for the last year before I even debuted. Is that ref doesn't look like he wants to be here? That was all leading into what we did. So didn't like being a ref, did it for a favor, and then that played into me debuting at Tribute to the Shot Collar in February of last year. Yeah, last year. I took off the referee shirt and then just started wrestling. And they're like, the refs in the match, and somebody got in the way and messed up the hard cam shot, but it is whatever. And we figured it out down in May of last year is actually when I first debuted for Proving Ground. It was May 10th. It was the King of the Southeast Open Challenge against Univice, who to this day I am still wrestling and fighting with pretty much everywhere. So we just beat them last Monday for the WWN Proving Ground Tag Team Championships. But to get back to your question, to why it was more like you've seen it as a kid, you always want to do it, and then the opportunity is right there because where we live in Florida, like this whole area, like Proving Ground is right down the street. There's places like AMP, which is right down the street too. GCW was running at Gulfview. AMP was in Hudson. WWN was in Newport Richey. OCC Roadhouse, FIPs, all that in Clearwater. So it was all in one area. So it was just a really good area to be for wrestling. On top of that, the town out here is like amazing too. So you have all these good guys you can work off of and work with and then learn from. And then you take all that together and on top of like the trainers we have and had, like it was good. So there was like a no-brainer. And then even with Frank being like as passionate as he was, I would say he was like the main reason for me coming back because I literally had no plans of doing it after all that stuff happened. And then I talked to him, and then after doing the production, all that, and then some of our other students that were training at the time, like Rafael Delgado, who I was close with, they're like, "Yeah, man, just come back and start doing it." And I'm like, "All right, what's the worst that could happen? If I don't like it, I'll just stop doing it." And then I never stopped doing it. So here we are today.
I was gonna say, it seems like you're having a great time out there.
Oh, I'm enjoying it now. Yeah.
Yeah.
Now it's fun. So
And it's interesting, like, doing some research on you coming into this interview. I could tell, I mean, it's now obvious that you have a background in production because you have a ton of promos out there and they're all lit up. They're nice. There's camera shots. But I do want to ask you one question.
There's music.
Yeah,
like,
it's everything.
Who does that?
It's the full package. Very few.
Yeah.
Very few. But
very few. But the ones who do are also pretty good too. There's a couple other people that do it. That's not the only one that has the fancy promos. But my fancy promos are made by one person, and that's me.
I like it. Well, you mentioned digital cinema because I went to school for video production. But when there was film, or when I was going to school, it was like film, right? Like
Actual film, yeah.
actual film. So I guess digital cinema is strictly not film then, I'm guessing, right?
So that's like yay and nay. So it's called digital cinema, but we did so much paperwork too. Like half the class like wasn't even with digital stuff. Like we would use actual film cameras. So I know how to use one of those. I'm not one of the newer kids that doesn't know how to use anything. So we would use film cameras. We would use like ABC HD and a bunch of these old files, which I bet some of these don't even know what that is. So we would use a bunch of these, and then we'd film. We even filmed on cameras that didn't even have SD cards, and they would have like CFast cards, if you know what those are, and stuff, like a bunch of different types of like media and everything. And then we wouldn't even just do video; it was like photos, editing, like interview setup, like display setup, teardown, and just like production, like stages and everything. So like when it comes to all this other stuff, like character design, dressing suits up, audio, visual effects. Like I've done all of that, and I spent the course is only like a year and 3 months long, but I was actually there for 2 years because I was like let me see how long I can stay here until they throw me out, so I can just learn everything. And because they had a green screen room, which funny enough, I was already graduated by the time I started wrestling. But I won the AMP title, so I snuck back into the school and I used the green screen room to film my first State of the Union promo as the AMP champion, which is like the super mic'd up one. It was like 8K, which I'm never filming a promo in 8K again because that file is like 37 gigabytes. But that's like I love that production stuff, so I did that, and then on top of that, we did the documentary before I even started wrestling with August Artois for the Son of a Journeyman, and we filmed all that. That was me, Austin Small, and then our co-editor Ricky. He just hopped in to help edit because by the time we were starting to edit this, I had just debuted and I started wrestling, so I didn't have as much time as I used to like edit things. So he took over, started editing some of the half, and then I edited the first half. He got the second, and we made like a final draft version, and then started. Then we had all the posts, and that got done. And the trailer got uploaded. I think I want to say it's almost a year to the day the trailer went up. I know it's coming up soon, and because it got released, I want to say it was like May 19th. It went up last year, like the full doc where you could see it at the watch party. So that was like my anything I've done like film wise. That's my favorite thing. Like I want to say like 6-7 months of filming it, and then the post production was like 5 months. So I put a lot of time in that, and like the film festivals, all that, it's still submitted to that are coming up this year. So I'm working on still doing stuff with that, but at the same time, I have a lot of stuff to work on. So when I have time to do that, I will get to stuff like that, and then I am working on another film which isn't wrestling related, which is fun to say when you're not working on something that's not wrestling related. And then I'm working on another thing that is wrestling related, which it's almost done. I'm editing it right now. So once I'm done with this, I'll drop that and we'll see how people actually like that, because I don't think they will. So that one's going to be fun. That's a fun project I'm working on.
Let's see here. The Brute Ray Elliott has a comment. He says TJ Brady sucks eggs.
Hey, Ray. Hey, Ray, do you miss this already, Ray? It's been having a great time with me and Damian Gemini. So I'm sure he misses that. I'm surprised Jules hasn't said anything yet. I know he's lurking around somewhere.
He's always lurking around somewhere. If there's Wi-Fi in the trailer park there somewhere.
Yeah, pure trash. There's a thunderstorm over where he lives. He's going to knock out
Forget about it. He's just thief.
Yeah, he's done. I didn't steal. Oh, yeah, we did steal the duos titles, but, you know.
Hey, it's all part of the game, right, TJ?
I set them off for an upgrade. So the duos titles are on vacation right now. When they come back, they're going to go to us.
Okay. Now, obviously, you went to school for digital film production, and then you now are. Looks like you're balancing both lifestyles, which you kind of have to. Right? You got to have a lot going on.
A lot of everything.
Right. A lot of everything. You got to be a jack of all trades nowadays. It seems like you're doing that, right? So what did your family think? Like when obviously everybody wants us all to go to college, right? Because my family was thrilled when I went to college. And I'm doing other stuff outside of what I went to school for now, which is awesome. But you're doing something way outside of what you.
I mean, you can technically go to school for this.
You can, yes.
Yeah, and there's like tuitions and everything for wrestling school now. It's just crazy. But so the reaction was kind of like, just do it, because they didn't really care. They were like, well, you're already in college, so if you go to more school, it can't hurt. Because when I first said it, I was gonna go. They're like, "Oh, you're just gonna go to more school?" I was like, "Yeah, I'm gonna go do more school." And then I did this because at the time when I started training at the TC, it wasn't even in Newport Richie. It was in a gym. I want to say or a gym. It was in a building in Clearwater, and it was only once a week then. And then after I got hurt, because I started training December 1st of 2022, or no, 2021. Sorry, it was 2021. I started training. I went back late 2022, early 2023, and then continued all the way on until 2024. And we still train, obviously, but that's kind of yeah. The reaction really wasn't that surprising. They're at most of the shows. I mean, if you look around, you see somebody that kind of looks like me. They're probably me. If it's in Florida, if it's out of state, no. If it's in this little area like FIP, WWN, if there's something cool that's gonna happen, they'll be there. If I'm just there, they'll be there. And then the people that are here locally too, like a bunch of friends, because I've been in the same area since like Newport Richie, like Pasco. I've been here for like 10 years. So I know a decent amount of the people that live here. So you'll see the same faces here and there on like WWN, AMP, and like GCW, and everybody runs in this area. Like and if you look too, it's not even just people I know. There's a lot of the same people. They're just good because that's like a solid fan. There's a solid fan base in this area of just people that want to see the same story, like not the same story, but like the same guys continuing their stories, and then like all the companies are doing different story, and there's different guys for each company too. It's not just the same guys. But it's the same fans going everywhere because they want to see it. And then you notice there's different faces every week, and everybody else is just coming in. So it's like a good area. And then that ties back to the question, like family and friends. You just add more, and then there's more and more people that come out to the shows. It's like a unlimited marketing hack or something like that. It's all in the same area. They just keep coming. And the more and more you post and send it to everybody, which I know is super annoying, but you have no idea the wonders that does to get people into places. Like you'll have some random guy who hasn't talked to you in like 4 years, and he'll see your Facebook post, be like, well, that guy's a piece of garbage. I'm going to go out there and see him get his thing thrown around. Then they go, oh, that's actually pretty cool. So it's just stuff like that.
Well, I think it's the opposite of annoying, TJ. I feel like, as somebody, I'm on
So
the
somebody
journey.
like you who's in it, but there's like you got some
Yeah,
random
I
people on
guess
your
so.
friends
Because
list. Yeah.
I'm sure there's plenty of my old like Spartan friends that are like enough about this like wrestling stuff that this guy posts all
Yeah.
the
And they're
time.
like
But
wrestling.
right, but it's the world that we live in. But from a business standpoint, TJ, like I
That's
appreciate
so smart.
you posting stuff out and branding yourself and marketing yourself. And there's guys like you mentioned, like August Artois, that literally is posting every day, all the time, and
You
Sticks and
have to.
Jules, all these guys that
Oh,
you run in the circle with are posting all the time. And it's so important because nothing like as okay, when if you were to set up, for me to set up interviews, like I want to see that you're invested in this stuff, right? Like this takes time for me to do interviews, and I want to interview people who I
exactly.
know that are invested in it. When I look at your profile, I'm like, oh, TJ's all the way in. Like, let's do this thing, right? So it just
Yeah.
shows off from even like a podcaster standpoint to even a promoter. If you're out there promoting yourself and your product, man, it's there's no excuses for it. And I'm glad to see that you
No.
are like all guns and blazing when it comes to that.
Yeah, I don't say I take offense to it, but like there's sometimes I'll do like podcast, right? And then they're like, yeah, we're gonna post it in like 3 weeks and
That's
whatever,
insane, dude.
and then they don't post and then they don't even post the clips, and it's like, what was the point? Because by the time that goes up, it's gonna be outdated. And then the one of the better podcasts out there, like my favorite one I've done so far, besides this one, of course, is wrestling, dude. Like content every
Oh, he's
day,
good. Yeah,
always
I like
collabs
them.
with
I like
everybody.
them. Yeah,
And
yeah.
it's cool. Like I can just message him something, and then he'll laugh at it, and then he'll send me something, I'll laugh back at it. Like it's just little, and you build relationships with the people too, because they came out in the GCW, and his co-host Ginger Boy gave me like 1,500 stickers with the Ginger logo. I have it on my camera case. It's on my gear bag. I had it on I think it was on one of my boots for a little bit too, just because it got stuck there. But like people that invest in like marketing, I hate Jules to death, but I'm with him. I just wrestled him in Georgia 2 weekends ago. And if you watch his entrance from the show, which by the way, filmed and produced by KSP Media, my company, if you watch his entrance, besides the ignorant cowboy who knows he's not supposed to walk out during someone else's entrance but did it anyways, walks out, and you look at all the kids around, what are they wearing? mullets. They're wearing jewel shirts. They're wearing all, and these kids aren't from Florida where he's from. These kids aren't from Alabama. They're not from New York, and they're all new people that just showed up to Georgia at the one show that they went to, and they bought the merch. And then they'll come back when we're in town because they want to see their guy. And now they all have it. And that's kind of how you make your wages back too. And he's one of the only guys I see do it consistently. And then he's always got the picture where he's like this with all the kids, and it's like horrible father figure, but that's Jules Bradley. And then another one is like August with even his shop. He's got the online shop that's in the UK, and then he's branching out. And then all these other guys are all signing on too, like Delgado, Jules is on that, Storm Tom, and all these guys are on that site, and they're all doing their own online promoting, and it's a whole different animal. Like myself, I have my own shop because I have the KSP Media shop where you can get all of my merch is on there, La Maria's merch is on there, Hound Dog merch, Drake Xavier. There's a couple, I forget. There's like a decent amount of people on there too, but there's and you got to share the stuff too, like new designs. Like I have a new shirt out every month at least, and I make them myself. I like to be in control of my own stuff, and I'm working on a really cool shirt now. I'm working on new gear right now just to get another thing going because I like to have more. Like I obviously have like the 4 sets right now, and I have like the 4 different shirts, but I like to be ahead of the curve and just have like a bunch of stuff ready so I can update myself regularly. Same thing with promo pics and like posting, like you said all the time. We just did a whole photo shoot again for I just did one last month. We did another one. We're doing another one Friday. So just like a bunch of photos and then clips, highlight reels, podcast clips, and then like getting on doing podcasts. I just did one last night. I'm doing yours today. I have another one tomorrow, and I have another one on the 28th. So the more you're out there, the more you're talking about. And you have to be doing something too. Like you just can't interview somebody who's not doing anything. Like you have Ray who's leaving comments in your podcast. I haven't seen Ray do anything besides lose to us consistently. See, he pops in right there. And then maybe you can have him on next week and ask him why he's not doing anything.
Oh, okay.
A bunch of negative comments. So there's, like that. And just set everything up to get everybody on there. It's a marketing play too. And it's not really, it is marketing. It is marketing, but I can see where some people find it annoying, but also that speaks volumes to other companies, other promoters. Like, hey, the guy that's always on Facebook 24/7 posting stuff, the guy that's on Twitter, I don't have Twitter, Snapchat, Threads, Instagram, just posting stuff everywhere. And if you look too, I don't even post the same thing. On Instagram, I have a different post when there's a post on Facebook, and vice versa. I swap them out, and then I have the 2 Facebook pages. If you're lucky enough to be on my private one, which isn't private anymore, damn, the Proving Ground Belt tried to hurt me. But if you do all that, and then like you have the separate post, and it's like always active. So it's like always something going on. It gives people something to lie. And then there's fans too that want to see that stuff. Like they'll message you, be like, hey, Brady, going to this show. Are you going to be there? And then when you got to tell them no, they're like, oh, well, do you have any new merch out or something like that? And that's there. Like even I noticed that somebody left a comment on one of our other stablemates who's not on the show with us. Like, you guys going to be there? No. Oh, well, is the new shirt out at least yet? Because they just posted a new shirt. So it's stuff like that too, or it's just consistently posting stuff. That's why I have the schedule out. I just worked on my schedule before I hopped on here for April and May because they're already finalized, and I got to post them, whatever, just to let people know where I'm going to be because they're already asking, are you going to be at this show? No, we're at another show. Is it in the same state? No. So you got to get that stuff out there, let people know.
I was going to say, it's crazy the world that we live in right now with professional wrestling, because when I just moved to the Atlanta area in November last year, and being a Florida guy, and yeah, you would see some people, the South Florida people and then the Central Florida people. But even here in Atlanta area, like I can literally I'm going to 3 shows ish this week. 2 are in Atlanta, one's in South Carolina, not too far, like 2 hours. But like I'll literally go in and see the same people, probably the same people at these 3 shows, or at least 2 of the 3 shows, and then next week at a different show, and then at the same company, like it is crazy, like the fan base that professional wrestling has grown. And I had the promoter for Deep South Wrestling on 2 weeks ago, and I asked him why. Yeah, in Georgia, yeah, and I asked him why he thinks this explosion. He thought, or his reasoning is because where WWE is right now. You know, like when the big dog is
That
doing the big thing, everybody gets excited about wrestling in general.
I would say I noticed that too because WrestleMania weekend last year at Proving Ground, like it was the Friday, so like SmackDown was going on, right? And we had Proving Ground every Friday. That building was packed. Like there were literally, like I think we have like 25 seats on each side of Proving Ground, the TC building, and standing room only. And there's literally a line of people in the hallway. And everybody knows that work the Proving Grounds and the TC is our walkway is through that door to get in and out of the building. And I remember watching people try to make their entrance. They couldn't get through the door. Like it was just that many. Same thing with SummerSlam last year. It's anytime they do like a big event and people are just excited about wrestling, they'll go check out their live shows. So like he wasn't wrong. Wrestling is definitely striving right now because the E is so hot, and it's not even just the E. Like AEW is doing stuff, Ring of Honor is doing stuff. So it's all the companies are putting on like the best product they can, which inevitably helps out indie guys. And you have the new ID program and stuff like that too. To where now you have the indie guys are even trying to do their best to get signed and do all and like to stand out and be somebody different. Which even me myself, I try to be different than everybody. I mean, you can compare me to a couple people, which I do get compared to some people, and but there's something different about everybody. Like here, I'll go back to this because Jules is like a normal indie guy you have on your roster. Like he's different, he looks different, he acts different. You just mentioned, I guess earlier, he's different. Guys like Sideshow are completely different. Our Proving Ground heavyweight champion, say Scott, he stands out. He's different. Your new Proving Ground tag team champions stand out. We're different. So like, there's all these guys that are like they're in the same places, right, in the same states, all that, but they're so different from each other, and they all put out different work, and they have different fans. Like you could never. It's like the talent right now is so hot. It's not even just in one place. It's everywhere. And then it's the same fans are driving like 2-3 hours to go to different shows in different part of the states just to see their guys, and it's noticeable, and it's a good thing, which means wrestling's hot. Like even some of the fake guys at the like you're not gonna go to every single SmackDown, every single Raw, but you can go to every Proving Ground, and then all the GCWs, Amps, Riots, like all these shows, and you'll go to all of them. Like even like Comic-Con shows, like those are packed too. And some people don't even know like what's going on in wrestling, but hey, WWE's hot. Maybe I'll go check out this con and fill the room. So stuff like that's good for everybody.
Yeah, I was going to say it used to be where I would hear maybe excuses or reasons why companies wouldn't run on like pay-per-view nights, right? Like if the WWE had, let's say, Backlash or not one of their main ones, right? Because it's still you don't run against WrestleMania, but
No.
I think
Now you can.
Now you can, and people are running against Royal Rumble and everything else now, and still packing the house because people are like, well, I still want to see my guys and gals live, right? I want to see my wrestlers that I support because I can only watch them live for the most part, and I can watch the Royal Rumble tomorrow, But
yeah, because now everything's on Netflix too. Now people like for us being on Mondays, it's great. People can go watch the show and they get home and it's on instant replay, and you can come out and Proving Ground's free at the OCC Roadhouse. Like that's a huge opportunity for any guy to even be on there. And now that it's live and then the storylines are going places they're going, like it's some of the most developed and well told like stories on the indies right now. And it's not even just our stuff aside, like the main event scene at Proving Ground is like phenomenal. Like the mid card scene's great. The tag team division is stacked. Like there's so much good there right now. Like it's like you gotta watch it and you got to see who's there. Like there's so many talented guys and tag teams there, and now I'm excited because now we get to wrestle them. No more vice and violence. We get some new guys. So,
well, speaking of vice and violence, I mean, there you go.
See,
the PG tag belts beats you, and Mrs. Vice and Violence will be coming home soon.
Yeah, whenever you guys want to show up.
Vice and Violence. Yeah, there you go.
It just won't stop.
It won't. They're not gonna leave you alone, TJ. They're not gonna leave you alone.
Will not. To their credit, I think we start it 90% of the time, but sometimes we don't start it every time. Because we were done. I hadn't messed with them, and I want to say 3 months, which doesn't sound like a long time. And then the Super Show, the Indy Vice jumped the guardrail, and it cost me my Young Guns final match. And so that's what we kind of started back up from there. So I blame them. I didn't do it this time. They started this one. I didn't forget that either. So
It's always not who started it, it's who finishes it at the end of the day.
exactly. And we finished it like 3 times already. They just keep coming back.
Well, you got to give them a lot of credit for not quitting.
I'll give them that, because if they quit, then we wouldn't have these right now, because
Right.
we wouldn't have exactly. So I thank them for still being around.
Okay. You said, about being different. So when people come to watch TJ Brady in action, what can they expect?
A lot of screaming, yelling, and a lot of shenanigans. Yeah, I say my character work and just who I am is my strongest suit. I can wrestle all day. That's not what people want to see. They want to see me get my face punched by the brute and all that. They want to see me get screaming and yelling, get mad that something doesn't go my way. They want to see me punch Rick Dames in the nuts. Like, they want to see stuff like that, because that's more interesting than clothesline and whatever, which is fine. I can do that too. I can do both. Whatever crowd wants, I'll give them what they want. But you don't got to give them everything, because that's not how this goes. So, and even to go back on that, like, if you're going to see like where I'm at, it really depends, but like, it doesn't matter where I am. You're still getting the same TJ Brady. Alabama, they just got pure enough TJ Brady. Georgia the week before, they got the same TJ Brady. Proving Ground last night or 2 nights ago, whatever, they got the same TJ Brady. This coming up weekend is going to get TJ Brady. Everybody's getting the same guy, the same worker, the same person, like everything. But it's all they need. That's all they want. It's not. And we'll put it like this: I don't need to like change myself to go around. I could just keep being who I am, and people will still keep coming to see it regardless.
Mm.
And the proof is in the front rows of these shows. Because if you look, there's someone giving me a finger, he's screaming, throwing stuff at me, yelling. It doesn't matter. That music hits, and then a prime example of this, which there's like 1 minute of footage of this, and I wish there was more. There was an incident at a proving ground 2 weeks ago where Baby Keith knocked over some equipment, and then he wanted to keep the Miami Boys theme song on for about 10 minutes and just irritate us to where it had me so heated. I wasted 3 bottles of water. I almost lost my voice from just yelling at this man, from just keep on repeating this. It just didn't stop. And it was so arrogant and almost got in the way of our match, because we couldn't focus. It was just all Miami Boys, because it was a 305 versus TJ sucks, and it just went on for 10 minutes. And it was so irrational. And that Keith was like, yeah. And then I posted on Facebook, like, how do we get suspended? Because I hit Rick Dames in the nuts, but Keith doesn't get suspended for mind games, interrupting tag matches, and like overall this like ignorance of the surrounding human beings of playing the same song for 10 minutes. And he got away with it. So I wish everyone could be like Baby Keith.
Yeah, it doesn't sound very fair and balanced, at least not in TJ's favor there.
No, not in my favor at all. But we still won, so that's all that matters.
Well, when you started this journey, you obviously started wrestling, then you had the car accident. Now you're back, and I feel like you're doing this full force now. So in that time span, what would you say is the biggest lesson that maybe you've learned about yourself from the very beginning?
I want to say time heals all wounds, because that's technically what happened. But I would say more like never, like, always expect the unexpected, because I didn't expect any of this. It was kind of just, I mean, just try it and see what happens, and that's kind of just what happened, because you're never given anything, and it can be taken away anytime. So it's like, kind of never take anything for granted, especially like your friendships and people because you don't know how long you have them, and then that's just how it goes. And then when you make your friends too, like, even some of like the stuff isn't even just about it's about like the trips, like the hanging out, the filming stuff, the training, like stuff like that. Sometimes you remember more and value more than actually being in front of the crowd. And some people don't get that, and then the ones that do. But that's something that's like way bigger than than most of the stuff. So got a nice text here. So
Well,
wow.
the Brute is back, and he wants to say that
Yeah,
he wants to turn that pale chest into hamburger meat.
man, I am
Cherry
so
Bombs
tired
is
of this
singing,
brute.
"Let it go, let it go, let it go."
I'm so tired of this brute.
Oh, well,
Gotta like mute him on the chat.
I'm not gonna. I don't believe in censorship here, TJ. We're gonna let it go.
Oh,
We're gonna
man.
let. Now, obviously, the world of professional wrestling, I like to say, is a bizarro land because I've seen so many crazy things behind
Bizarro,
the.
I was just there.
You were just there. Okay, well, let's talk
Bizarro.
about a bizarro moment in the career of TJ Brady.
Um,
Well, you were at
somehow
Bizarro Wrestling, though, right?
I was, yeah.
Okay.
So
It's kind of like where I picked it up,
unannounced.
where I went to their event down in Miami a couple years ago, like 2 years ago during the Comic Con, and I was like, "What's a bizarro moment?" So I kind of picked it up from covering the event down there.
So that was probably one of my, as of right now, this year is my favorite moment of my career. I come out as Gambit. So I entered as Gambit in the Bizarro Battle Royal, and I went straight after the Mandalorian, which sounds like a fever dream. And I was just attacking Mando. Um, and then Mario comes out, proceeds to splash everyone in the corner, splashes me because he's like, it was like a 700-pound Mario too. So he splashes me, and then I fall into him, and then for some reason he grabs me and starts slow dancing, and then gives me a Uranagi, and the crowd absolutely loved it. So that was probably one of my favorite, that was my favorite Bizarro moment. And then even still, like after that, here comes Bud Heavy of all people and just kills me. So yeah,
He's been known to do
Bizarro
that from
was.
time to time.
Oh yeah, but Bud Heavy.
Yeah.
He gave me my least favorite senton I've ever felt ever. So Bud's a great guy, but damn, he tried to kill me.
I was
So
gonna, yeah, Bud is like one of the most nicest guys ever. Like when you talk to him, but when that dude is in the ring, he is like full force, like a freaking cannonball shot out of something
dude, he
that just
literally
affects people.
we're out there. I'm making my entrance and everything, and no Fabe at all. Um, I'm going out there. I see him, and I'm looking up and down at him, and this guy in the crowd goes, "Yeah, he's gonna kill you." I was like, "Yeah, look at him." So, and that's exactly what happened. And then I ended up under the ring after the match. And then as we're leaving, the same fans like, "I told you he was gonna kill you." I was like, "I know." After I just got the senton of doom. So on that, yeah, that's the most bizarro moment I'd say is getting Uranagi and slow dancing with Mario as Gambit.
Okay.
Uh, that just sounds weird, but that's what happened.
It sounds fantastic. I remember being at one of those shows, and I'm like, they threw like a star into the ring because Mario was getting beat up, and he got his powers
That's what
back, and I'm
happened with
like,
the stupid sloth. The
yeah,
sloth couldn't make his way to the ring, so Mario and Luigi come out and give him that, and then he hits me with the that was like the heaviest like clothesline I've ever taken. Like, I don't know what's in those stars, but man, that sloth.
so
It was
how
a sloth, a legitimate
sloth of
sloth.
all things.
Yeah.
So how's your kinetic card throwing now that you've played Gambit?
Um.
It doesn't sound, you don't
Well,
sound too confident there.
I mean, it's all right.
It's
So, I
okay.
mean, I'm better off spinning staffs than I am throwing things. Anytime I throw, it's either break something or it falls short. So.
You seem like more of a guy that would like to whack somebody over the head with his staff, anyways.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's a lot. It's
Yeah.
more controlled chaos than just uncontrolled, which is the card throwing.
Okay. Um, I would like to do a couple like rapid fire questions with you, TJ, if you don't
Uh-oh.
mind.
Oh,
It's
so
it's
let's
all
I
fun.
just did these last week, so let's
Oh,
see how bad.
okay. Well, let's do your favorite movie of all time.
Terminator 2.
Oh, my second favorite movie of all time is Terminator 2.
See.
Right behind the
See.
Goonies. Fucking love Terminator 2. It's the first rated R movie my parents ever let me watch, or that I convinced them to let me watch, was Terminator 2. An
Such a good one.
album. Oh, it's such a good one. Favorite album of all time.
Uh I'll go simple just because it's like the we'll go Hail to the King by Avenged Sevenfold.
Okay. Favorite binge TV show?
We'll go with something. What type of TV show we talking? We talking cartoon or live action?
Whatever you would want to put. Like me, I would say Married with Children. Like, let's go. Let's put Married with Children on. Let's sit down and watch it all day long.
I'll give the easy heat answer, and I'll say, we'll do Peacemaker. We'll put that on. We'll do Peacemaker.
Peacemaker, really? Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. And biggest wrestling inspiration for you?
We'll say Punk.
Okay. Okay. Well, is there anything else that we should know about TJ Brady before we let you get going?
Yeah, TJ Brady needs to get some more sleep because he's got quite the rest of the year to go. Couple travel announcements are going to be made very soon, as long as some syndicate business in Georgia. So, let's see. We got Mero Pro next week on the 29th. WWN next week on Monday. And then we go into April. And I'm not allowed to say things yet, but there's a lot of cool stuff happening in April. And then May, there's a lot of good stuff happening. May is going to be the best month ever because it's the 1 year anniversary of Proving Ground. And I think what's today? 20. And 3 days will be the 1 year anniversary of my first singles match, which is crazy. I have all these and it hasn't been a year yet. And then on 4/20, the best holiday ever, there's Easter, WrestleMania, and then 4/20. Will be 1 year since I won the AMP Pure Championship. So after I have one more defense, I'm hoping I can hold on to it a little bit longer. And then the 4/20 celebration. So there's a lot of fun stuff going on for April, May. Some cool stuff happening in November. There's a lot of cool stuff happening for 2025.
The Brute is back again once more.
It's not just Georgia. It's everywhere but Florida. I'm safe.
So there you go. Yeah, and I also see you, doing a lot of stuff with Simon Says as well too.
It's like he's my uncle or something.
He is that proud uncle that's out there with you, watching his nephew kick ass out there. What's one of the biggest things you've learned working with Simon Says?
That what we were going to earlier, character work is much more important than everyone thinks it is. I won't say everyone, but character work is very important. And cleaning that up and performing to the best of your ability is also pretty important too, to where you don't want to – obviously, you need to be good in the ring. You have to be able to do stuff in the ring. But that extra edge and that, little bit of is, a lot. It adds a lot more because who would TJ Brady be if he was just a guy in the Italian gear? He would be nobody. TJ Brady with his character, that Italian gear, that music, and that look. Now that's something that's a character. And then on top of that, you add all the layers and layers of storytelling we've done this year alone with the Young Guns tournament, the feuds, the AMP stuff, and then now we're into the Says stuff. So there's layers to the character development. And if you go back and watch the promos, each promo has, and let me say it without actually saying it. But if you watch all the promos back and you watch them in order, there's layers and there's hints at other stuff and storylines going forward. It's not even just for one promotion. It's every promotion has a story. So I like to conduct my character, my story on the same character everywhere you see me, because I go back to what you said earlier, to where if you buy a ticket, you're going to see the same TJ Brady. You're going to see something different, but you're going to see the same character regardless. That's not going to change. So the story is in place in everywhere I go, and that's where this tagline came from. Everywhere I go is the TJ Brady show, because there's a show and a story to be told everywhere I go. And if you're paying to see me, you're going to see that story unfold. Regardless of how it ends for me in the ring, you will enjoy what you're seeing. And if you don't, it sucks to be you. That's pretty much where I'm at.
Well, speaking of seeing the TJ Brady everywhere you go, he says, still a ginger douche is what the Brute has to say here. Yeah. Well, it sounds like, TJ, you got a lot of great stuff going on. You're making waves out there, which is awesome. I know you got.
Did you see the comments on this when this got announced too? I was like, oh, negative comments on a podcast. How dare they?
Yeah, it's always a good sign. I love it. Bring it
That is a
on.
good sign. If people don't hate you, you're not doing something right. And I'm a prime example of that.
Dude, TJ, those words are like gold. 100%. For
if
sure.
you hate me, you like me for doing something you can't do. That's where I'm at.
Absolutely love that. Well, TJ, I know you have a YouTube channel, and I believe you're getting close to 1,000 subscribers on there. I think.
Yeah, I saw that, and I don't really.
You're like at 860 or something when I looked at it. So let's get some subscribers over to TJ Brady so he can get monetized over there on YouTube. Let's go.
Send me some more cash in the TJ Brady YouTube channel. So
get those.
Anytime I have a promo, it's on there. So if you don't see it on Facebook and Instagram, it's on there. I'm trying. What's he called? Damien, who's trying to convince me to get a Twitter for La Maria. So if a Twitter pops up, I'll make a post about it. Don't count on it because I don't like Twitter. But Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, I have all three of those. So, and it's the same. TJ_Runs727 on Instagram, TJ Brady on Facebook, and then TJ Brady on YouTube. Same thing on TikTok, TJ_Runs7. I forgot about TikTok. I am on. I just posted a new TikTok today. So,
yeah, you're more of a video guy than a typing guy.
Yeah, I'd rather post a clip or a promo or something. We just filmed like 3 today, right before I got on here with you. We had Giovanni was over here, Damien, and we were all putting together some cool. It was pretty cool when we filmed too. I have some. I have one coming up for Georgia as well. I'm excited about that one because I didn't even get to announce it. Bill Weaver made a random post on Facebook calling me out, so that's how I found out I'm working Georgia.
Nice. Okay. Surprise, surprise.
Yeah, surprise, surprise.
Well, TJ, I want to thank you for your time tonight. I know you're a very busy guy.
I know, and I'm here. I made the time.
And guess what? The podcast is up right now. You don't have to wait 3 weeks for it to be posted. It's up right now.
Clip.
We can clip it. We can promote it. That's what we do here on Toned and Entertainment.
Collaborate. That's crazy.
Boom. That's what we do.
Collaboration.
That's what we do. We make it happen. Well, TJ, thank you again so much for your time. And I hope to catch up with you with a show up here in Georgia very soon. That's for sure.
Oh, that might be something we can work out very, very soon because we'll be up there in 2 weeks.
Awesome. We'll definitely keep you posted. I'm up in the Atlanta area, but I have no problem doing a little bit of traveling either, too.
We'll be in Atlanta soon. I'm not going to say when, but there is something locked there, so we'll be there soon.
Sweet. Okay, well, I'm looking forward to it. Let me see. I think we have another comment here.
Oh, no.
The Brute has April 12th.
that's when the Brute, myself, and Univice will be representing the Says Syndicate in a battle royal, and I unfortunately have to do double duty, and I'm going to get my hands on Bill Weaver though, so I'm going to knock that little smile off his face and show him my Freedom Force is no longer the force to be reckoned with.
All right, I love that. Well, again, TJ, thank you so much for your time.
Of course.
And guys, if you like interviews like this, please follow TJ Brady on everything. Subscribe to that YouTube channel. It means a lot. Every subscription does matter. It does count. Let's get it monetized over there. Every dollar counts.
This channel. Wait, where is it? That channel right there. Yep. Dropping down from the rafters.
There we go.
Figure out where to point because
it's always backwards.
Up there. Yeah, that one there.
Yes. More thumbs up for TJ Brady. Thanks, here from Paulo Rodriguez. And guys, if you haven't already, make sure you hit that red subscribe button so you can stay tuned in here to Toned In Entertainment for future videos.
Subscribe to the channel. Do it. Go now. Do it now.